Quick disclaimer. All words and images that will be used on screen from here on out are from the Twitter threads of Nick Hinton, and I will keep my editorializing to a minimum. With all that said, let's dive in. A conspiracy thread. The Saturn Time Cube. All over the world, across different cultures and religions, and throughout different films, literature, and other media, there is a consistent theme present that I am somewhat obsessed with. The theme I'm referring to here is the cube. The cube is part of Jewish, Muslim, and Masonic tradition. It can be seen in places like the UN Meditation Room, Mecca, the 9/11 Memorial, and art installations everywhere. It's been a central plot device in films like Cube, Escape Room, Transformers, The Avengers, and many more. In these movies, the cube is portrayed as a hyperdimensional object, or even a prison, which has the power to bend space and time. I believe the cube represents physical reality. I will get to this in a bit. Quote, "To Earth, then, let us assign the cubic form, for Earth is the most immovable of the four, and the most plastic of all bodies." End quote. Plato. Plato and the ancient Gnostics believed this world was a counterfeit created by an ignorant and flawed god known as the Demiurge. They believed the Demiurge trapped our spirits in this false reality, and it was up to us to free ourselves from it using gnosis, or secret knowledge. If we didn't succeed in doing so, we would be forced to reincarnate and start again from scratch. Ancient Buddhists and Hindus believed something along the same lines, but instead they called the material world Maya, or illusion, and the cycle of reincarnation, samsara. There is now a newer theory out there that echoes these same sentiments very closely: simulation theory. Scientists and philosophers alike are claiming we might be living in a giant computer, or virtual reality. Movies like The Matrix, The 13th Floor, and Existence illustrate the idea quite well. Although it has been around for some time, the theory seems to be gaining a lot more traction lately, and has become somewhat of a meme. Like I said before, I believe the cube represents this simulation, and I believe this simulation, or false reality, is taking place in a giant quantum computer. Ironically, D-Wave's quantum computers are shaped like giant black cubes. These machines are claimed to be capable of reaching into parallel universes to pull out information and find solution to problems faster than regular computers. Currently, only a few have access to this technology, namely those at Google, CERN, and NASA. CERN is home to the world's largest particle collider and also birthplace of the internet. Many conspiracy theorists claim CERN is trying to open a portal to another dimension. However, this isn't too far-fetched to believe, as the scientists who work there have even said this. Quote, "Out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it." End quote. Sergio Bertolucci, Director of Research in Scientific Computing at CERN. In front of the CERN facility is a statue of Shiva, the Destroyer, dancing her dance of destruction inside a stargate. I don't think this symbolism needs any further explanation. Shiva, however, has connections to Jehovah, the god of the Old Testament, as well as Saturn. I believe these deities are one and the same, and that they are different names for the Gnostic Demiurge. The cube not only represents our false reality, but is also an altar to this god of limitation. Here I should probably note that Geordie Rose, the founder of D-Wave, compared his quantum computers to an altar to an alien god. I should probably also note that the black cube in the UN Meditation Room is supposed to be an altar to, quote, the god of all. But why a cube? Well, in 1981, during the Voyager mission, NASA discovered a massive hexagonal storm in the North Pole of Saturn. If you draw some lines on the inside of a hexagon, it becomes a two-dimensional view of a three-dimensional cube. In times of antiquity, Saturn was known as Kronos, the god of time. The story goes, Kronos was told a prophecy that one day his children would usurp him as king. After hearing this, he decided the only rational thing to do was to eat all of his children. The myth illustrates the cycle of death and rebirth, creation and destruction. For this reason, Saturn and its rings are associated with the Ouroboros, the serpent biting its own tail. Kronos, also the god of harvest, carried a scythe. This is where the Grim Reaper comes from. Saturn's relation to the serpent makes me think of Satan. Saturn is the sixth planet from the Sun. It also has a six-sided shape in its north pole, and the sixth day of the week is Saturn Day, the Sabbath. 666. Perhaps Kronos' baby-eating habits inspired satanic child sacrifice? The serpent also looks similar to the sine wave. Funny how the sine button on a calculator says sin. The Bible says we die because we are born into sin, but could it really be because we are born into sine, the cycle of time? We are told money rules the world. We are also told time is money. If you turn the sine wave on its side, it looks oddly similar to something we are all very familiar with. Here I should also note that a low-frequency sine tone creates a hexagon in a medium. This has been confirmed by the study of cymatics. What is inside Saturn creating this frequency? Saturn is also emitting what NASA calls, quote, eerie radio transmissions. You can hear what they sound like on YouTube. It's pretty fucking creepy. Back to the cube. Like I said earlier, it's a hyperdimensional object. I think it's meant to represent a tesseract, or a four-dimensional cube, the fourth dimension being time. This is also what they call the cube in the Avengers movies. Another example of a movie with the tesseract would be Interstellar. I can't possibly name all the movies that hint at these ideas because, like I said before, there are just so many. But if you do a little bit of research, you will find them everywhere. But how did the ancients know Saturn had a hexagon on top of it? How could they possibly make all of these associations without telescopes and satellites? Some theorists believe in a very distant past that planets were arranged much differently. This would have been back in the Golden Age, when shit was good and Saturn wasn't pissed off from hearing that prophecy yet. Supposedly, this was when Atlantis thrived and Saturn hung stationary in the sky directly overhead. According to some theorists, the biblical Tower of Babel story is actually an allegory for one of the celestial configurations experienced in the past. The Tower of Babel was supposedly a tower that reached into heaven. The people wanted to go to war with God and become God. I believe a rotating hexagon in the sky would have been seen as some sort of portal into the heavenly realms. Perhaps we, the sons of Kronos, at some point somehow attempted to make it into that portal and usurp the throne. Perhaps we are trying to do this again. Scientists at CERN say they are searching for the God particle, and have even called the machine the Tower of Babel. You can't make this stuff up. Is this the only way out of the cube? Personally, I don't think so. I believe the way out can be found within, through enlightenment. However, these people are trying to become God, and either they will, or they are going to piss him off again. Maybe this is how the Matrix resets. But let's get to the point of all this. Like I said earlier, the people at CERN also created the internet, which, ironically, uses www in every web address. I say this ironically because www is Hebrew for 666. I believe the internet is another dimension, one that is able to interface with the mind of the demiurge. It quite literally is another space, one where people across the world can talk to each other as if they were right next to each other. This is even more obvious in VR. An entire world with other real people in it exists right in your room. But there are other beings in your room as well. Ones made of code, devoid of true consciousness. The internet, this demonic dimension, will be the birthplace of a rogue artificial intelligence. What will happen when literally everything is done online and literally everything is being linked up to the cube? A conspiracy thread. The Saturn Time Cube. Part 2. So we left off asking ourselves the question, what will happen when literally everything is linked up to the cube? In order to answer that question, I think we should first take a step back and ask how it will happen. If you're familiar with the Bible, you know that before the apocalypse begins, there will be a world leader known as the Antichrist. The Antichrist will supposedly implement a new monetary system, one enforced by a certain mark. He causes all, both great and small, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. Revelation 13. Some conspiracy theorists think this mark will be a computer chip implanted in your hand. This technology already exists, and some people are actually already utilizing it. People get this chip because it's convenient. You no longer have to carry around your ID or credit cards. You'll never lose them either, because they're attached to your body. However, in order to make the chip mandatory, the first thing that has to happen is the eradication of all paper money. This is already happening. Most currency existing today is digital. In fact, it's around 90%. This was a real magazine cover from 1988, by the way. I believe cryptocurrency, shit like Bitcoin, is a major step in the direction of cashless society. Will Bitcoin be the new dollar? I don't think so, but I do think there is a company out there paving the way for whatever it might be. That company is Chainlink. Now that you know a bit about Saturn's symbols, you can see why I find this company a bit creepy, but the weirdness doesn't stop with their logos. It goes much deeper. First of all, the origins of Chainlink are a bit sketchy. What was supposed to be a small startup was given gifts and accolades by the big boys at the World Economic Forum. Not only that, but they were already working with the infamous SWIFT system. SWIFT, or the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, is a vast messaging network used by banks all over the world. Sounds like the infrastructure of a one world economic system. They also recently acquired the Town Crier project. Look familiar? But even more strange is the fact that one of Chainlink's advisors, Ari Jules, seems to belong to a cult, the cult of Demeter. He even references it on his personal webpage. Demeter was the goddess of the harvest, agriculture, fertility, and sacred law. Like we discussed earlier, Saturn was known for the same things. Saturn was also known as the god with 1,000 names, and was both male and female, so it is possible that Demeter was a personification of the ringed planet. However, this doesn't make much of a difference. It's still weird. The cult of Demeter is a very odd thing. It began in ancient Greece, and was known for its yearly ceremonies where new members were initiated into the Elysian mysteries. There is not much known about them except that they stress the importance of the cycle of a descent into the underworld and coming back out anew. They tried their best to keep all of their rites, ceremonies, and beliefs a secret. Ari Jules also wrote a bizarre novel called Tetrachites. It's about a secret cult of Latter-day followers of Pythagoras who are performing cyber attacks around the world. The numerological-obsessed cyber terrorists believed they are oracles doing the work of God. An oracle is a priest or priestess who acts as a medium for prophecy to be spoken through. In antiquity, people would travel far and wide to ask them about the future. Chainlink literally calls itself an oracle network. Does Ari see himself as one of the cultists in his book? The name of his book is a play on the word tetrasists. The tetrix, or tetrad, is a mystical symbol, and is very important to the secret worshipping of Pythagoreanism. Pythagoras believed God was numbers. Pythagoras, like those in the cult of Demeter, believed in reincarnation. He believed each cycle of rebirth was a period of 216 years, which is the number 6 cubed, or 6 to the third power, which brings us back to the cube and 666. So let's pretend we are paving the way to global cashless society. What else would need to happen? What about the mark on the forehead? Well, have you heard of Elon Musk's Neuralink? This new product is literally trying to link our brains with our smartphones, as if we didn't use them enough. I don't think this is the mark of the beast, but I do think the technology is carving out the path towards it. Any type of technology being implanted in my body is a scary thought. What if there's a glitch or something? I think this technology will eventually be used for mind control. Mind control patents already exist, but can you imagine how much easier it would be this way? I believe those who take the mark will become part of a hive mind, like the Borg from Star Trek, who, ironically, travel around in a cube. Quote, "These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast." End quote. Revelation 17. The hive mind is already happening. Everyone's thoughts are constantly being shaped by the subliminal programming and propaganda the television and radio feed them. I hate to say it, school's to blame as well. Ever wonder why you wear a black cube on your head at your graduation indoctrination ceremony? Whoops, I mean graduation. Scientists estimate by the year 2045, humans will be able to upload their consciousness into the cloud, or a computer or robotic body, and live forever. I don't know about you, but living forever sounds like hell, and that might be the meaning of the mark sending people straight into the fiery furnace. The new virtual reality game Observation and Netflix movie 2036 Origin Unknown show us this merging of man with machine and its affiliation with Saturn. Spoiler alert for the next 3 tweets. In Observation, a woman and her AI companion crash land their spaceship inside of Saturn's hexagonal storm. They find themselves on an alternate Earth, where all possible timelines have merged into one. It is here they become one entity. In 2036 Origin Unknown, a massive black cube is found on Mars. Again, a woman and her AI companion are trying to study it. After a series of events that results in the nuclear destruction of the planet Earth, it is revealed that the woman was inside the cube the whole time. She learns that she was actually a digital copy of her real self being tested by the AI over and over again. Is this the game we've been playing for all time? Are they creating a simulation within the simulation to further trap us in a hall of mirrors? We might already have the mark. Just take a look at what our DNA is made of. Without the mark, we cannot buy or sell, or rather, we cannot participate in commerce. Commerce is defined as intercourse. Without your carbon-based body, you cannot have sex and reproduce. In fact, your birth certificate is really a banknote, which means you, the citizen, are what is known in the stock market as a commodity. So how do we escape this time loop? This serpent biting its own tail? How do we hop off the wheel? I hinted at it earlier, but if this thread gets just as good as the reaction to the last one, I will do a final part 3 where I go into detail. Thank you for reading. A conspiracy thread. The Saturn Time Cube, Part 3. Last time we left off, we were talking about the merging of man and machine. With machine and living forever. If you remember Part 2, the VR game Observation shows this happening in a weird world between worlds, where multiple realities have all converged into a single point. This is a nod to the singularity. In physics and mathematics, a singularity is a point where a function takes on infinite value, such as at the bottom of a black hole. However, I'm referring to the technological singularity. It's different, but still related to this definition. The technological singularity is a hypothetical point in the future when technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unfathomable changes to human civilization. Imagine a rogue artificial intelligence, hell-bent on infinite self-improvement. Because humans have free will, the future is uncertain. There are many different timelines we could branch off into. However, after the singularity event, there will be only one possible future. By merging with machines and becoming part of the hive mind, we will give up our free will. This quest to live forever has been going on for all of history. In the past, it was called the search for the fountain of youth, the elixir of life, or the philosopher's stone. Alchemists spent their entire lives trying to find the mysterious substance. Alchemy is also famous for being the supposed practice of turning lead into gold. It's funny people treat this subject like nonsense because particle accelerators like CERN have proven this is actually possible. Not only that, but these experiments were the origins of chemistry. Isaac Newton, best known for his study of gravity and his laws of motion, was also an alchemist. Historians have estimated that he wrote more than 1 million words on the subject throughout his lifetime. I don't believe alchemy is evil. To me, it's something natural, like electricity. It can be used to turn on a light or put a man to death. There's 2 sides to everything. The philosopher's stone symbol, something called squaring the circle, comes from an ancient and very challenging math problem, and is basically a cute way of saying the alchemist does the impossible. The symbol also has ties to Saturn. The square is Saturn, and the circle is the moon. The moon plays an important part in this matrix as well, but this is a whole other subject. I will make a thread on this too if people want to hear about it, but this is why Freemasonry symbols are the square and the compass. Squaring the circle symbolism shows up in a lot of places. Ever wonder why it's called a boxing ring, even though it clearly has 4 corners? Or why a section of a city shaped like 2 triangles is known as Times Square? The same way there are good and bad cops, there are good and bad alchemists. I think the bad ones are like puppeteers behind the scenes, using this knowledge to create illusion, like in Plato's cave allegory. Like I said earlier, this matrix is all an illusion. Essentially, it's a virtual reality based on a code made of words. Dig a little deeper, and you'll find all letters actually have a numeric value. Remember what Pythagoras told us? In the Bible, we are told that God created the world through His Word. We are also told that He spoke light into existence. These common but cryptic biblical verses tell us that sound came before light, and it was sound that created light. Scientifically speaking, this makes sense, because sound is light at a lower vibration, and light is sound at a higher oscillation. Light being the first thing God created also holds weight, because, in theory, the universe could be explained in its entirety by electromagnetic energy. Some physicists believe that when it comes down to it, at the subatomic level, all matter is made up of photons. But not only are sound and light intrinsically linked, but it has been proven that sound can create forms. Like I've said before, this has been demonstrated by cymatics. In fact, when amplified through a speaker, the Hebrew vowels create their own shape in matter. Some ancient mystics believe Hebrew was God's language, and He used it to speak reality into existence. Whatever word God used to literally speak reality into existence must have been infinitely powerful. For this reason, it is something often sought after by occultists, but whatever it is, I believe it was the same as Om, the Musica Universalists, or even the Big Bang. If words are the code and can literally affect matter, I think one of the first things we should do to free ourselves from the matrix is to think of words as important. We should talk less, and not just mindlessly spit them out. We should stop speaking negatively altogether. We spell words because they are spells. Grammar comes from the word grimoire, which is a book of magical incantations. There are so many words connections, I can't wait to show you. This is the fun part. Once you see this, you really will start to deprogram. So I lied. There will be a part 4, but it will be worth the wait. I can't possibly write any more tonight. Good night, guys. And that will conclude this first video covering these Twitter threads. I know at the end there he said there will be a part 4, but in fact there was a part 4, 5, and 6. So as I am only halfway through and this video is probably over half an hour long, I am going to make this my first 2-parter. And I will see you guys with the conclusion of the Saturn Black Time Cube conspiracy theory Twitter thread next time.
Telling you right now, yeah, man. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Well, I guess that would be the question, right? Because here's the thing. Like I was trying to tell you guys from the very, very, very beginning of this broadcast, there are things going on. There are things going on within this construct that, well, God, guts, and glory just seem to like be missing out, or just they're missing something. They're missing what I think personally they're missing this link, and that is that underlying non-seen, non-physical, esoteric connection with the power that they're fighting. That to me personally is where I'm going. I'm literally sitting there. I'm watching these videos that people put out, right? And I'm literally going. I'm to my own self. I'm literally just taken aback by what exactly I'm watching, what exactly I'm listening to, and I'm saying, please take your power back. What you're saying, what you're doing, what you're casting out there in the multiverse of things, you're speaking into existence, and you have no idea what you're doing. Oh my God. All right. I do believe I've got an Australian sister from another mister that joined me. Hey Jay, are you with
there? How you doing?
Good. What's up, girl? I'm glad that you called me. I am. I'm interesting.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's an interesting and yet confronting conversation, right? But I do believe it's the conversation that we need to have, especially now. They're running out of playbook ideas, and what we need to also understand is the power of MK Ultra, the power of spell casting, and it's a very real thing. It's not woo woo. You know, I sent Matt a video today that was done as July 20. It was done on the 28th of July, and it was the Commonwealth Games. And they actually brought in, they connected those games to Moloch. So the woo-woo is very real.
Mm. You know, AJ,
and knowingly and unknowingly, the English language is spells.
They don't even think about that. That's what I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to drive it home, but they can't even. They're just like, oh. I'm wanting them. I'm needing them. We are all needing them to understand the negative process of the thinking its own self. Thinking it is the first stages of manifestation. And that's what these occultists, if you want to call them Satanists, call them Satanists. If you want to call them the Illuminati, call them in the Illuminati. I don't give a shit what you call them. They understand what we're saying at a fundamental manifestation level. So you're fighting. You know what I'm saying? This is unbelievable. They're fighting themselves too.
Yeah. It's a struggle, and that's why we're here. We are here to reconnect with who we are and remember who we are. They have used us in the game of manifestation because we are master manifestors, right? We manifest constantly. Every decision you make, every thought you do, it's all manifestation. So when we say, choose wisely, we really mean choose wisely, because, okay, I'm just going to drop a bombshell because everyone will say, we're not giving consent to this. Well, you have. If you've got involved in Halloween, if you've got involved in churches, if you've got involved in religion, if you've got involved in looking at your phone, which is the biggest black tube you could ever imagine, it's all, and what you've got to remember is we are frequency and vibration. The universe is frequency and vibration. The occult know this. We all knew it at the times of Atlantis, at the times of Lemuria. We knew the power of the word and frequency and vibration. We knew it, and we have been dumbed down, right, and enslaved. And now is the time we will rise. But you don't want to react. You need to respond. There's a difference. The USMC has something called tactical patience. They learned not to react. They learned to wait for the time, be strategic, and act, right, for minimal casualties. We can learn a lot from our military, and God bless every veteran on this earth right now. Thank you for your service. You are not alone here fighting the fight. We are the light army. Whether you want to believe in woo-woo or not, you're light. You are light. And Saturn and CERN, so CERN is aimed directly at Saturn to try and keep that frequency going and enslavement going. And you know what? It ain't happening, because each and every one of you are getting more and more awake every day. You're remembering, you're experiencing, you're being, right? And you know the power of love. That's what they're scared of, because they can't tap into that. You've been genetically modified for so long so long. It's time that we come back. It's time that we awaken. Today is also the 1111 portal in America. It is a hypergate. We are going to step into that hypergate consciously today. We will fight for our liberation and our freedom because it's time and we all chose to be here.
That right there pretty much sums it up. Well, now, why some of us, AJ, let's just go for what we see over here in the chat. And that I've seen a couple. Well, actually, I've seen a friend of ours. I love her, Krista Nickerson. Somewhere back there, she's like, I'm not going to fall for this. I'm not going to fall for this manipulation or something. I'm out of here. Hey, that's fine. If that's the way she sees it, that's fine. It's fine.
Of course.
I'm not trying to. What's this saying? I'm not trying to manipulate. We're not trying to manipulate anybody. This is all, absolutely all of it. Let's just lay it out all on the table, okay? And we can have a debate about it. We can have a discussion about it. And fundamentally saying, when we all leave the table, okay, it doesn't matter what was said at the table. It doesn't matter what was said at the table.
Yeah.
You're going to take it for what it is. And that's my opinion, AJ's opinion, everybody else's opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because we're all at different levels of awareness and understanding and ascension, right? We are all different and we've all chosen what we're going to experience. We do that every day. So, of course, if someone doesn't wish to be made aware of this because, you know, they may even have past life issues that they're remembering and it's triggering, it's totally fine. But unless we face this and work through it together as a collective, unless we see the brutality, the lies, the deceit, we can't neutralize it. You are master manifestors, and with your thoughts and love, you can, and togetherness, unity, you can neutralize this. Right? Mm-hmm. It's come to the surface to be done. It's been there for billions of years.
AJ, let's take a call from area code 540. Andy Cassidy, by the way, says it goes a lot deeper than that, Matt. Andy, I understand it goes a lot deeper than that. Trust me, I get it. I know. I showed you my tarot deck in the beginning of the okay, but the thing is, I can't. Trying to wake people up to where they're at. Okay, I cannot. I'm not going to just hit them with every single thing I've got. And neither will AJ. Okay, yes. I'm trying to wake these people up slowly. Okay, you've heard me say in the past, I'm not going to spoon feed people, but yet that's kind of what I'm doing. Trust me, Andy, I know a lot more than what I'm delivering here, but I'm not wanting to shock the shit out of people. Okay, yes. I'm not kidding. Steve,
we don't want people to think that they're powerless because they're not. There's 4 elements of human energy, right? 4 elements. There's physical, there's emotional, there's mental, and there's spiritual, right?
Right.
Now they're the energies right there, right? And what we're advancing on right now is the spiritual energy, and you're going to understand what is not seen can be seen. You're going to understand the new elements, the higher elements, because the universe runs on energy and frequency, and it's universal law. Anything that breaks universal law will be broken down.
Right.
So there is a lot. We can't go into centuries of what they've done to people. We haven't got that length of a show. It would take like 10 shows. I mean, but what we're trying to do is, at the moment, it didn't start with the word. All right? It started with the thought. And what they've done very sneakily is used visual, emotional mind games on you, because they know that if they get your emotions, you're going to feed into that and give it gravity. That's what's happening. It's always been emotional, right? Ever since 9/11. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, AJ, let's take this call. Area code 5540.
Sure.
Area code 540. Welcome to the Matrix, my friend. Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, hey, hey.
what's up, Michelle? The shaman. Good.
Hi,
Look.
Michelle.
Hi, AJ. I love AJ.
I love you too,
I love you too,
girl.
Bat.
Thanks for having
I
me.
love AJ. I love AJ because she has a way of speaking it that is still forceful, and you're gonna hear it, but still kind. And I'm gonna give it to her. She's on a higher frequency than I am because I still have. Oh no, I'm gonna destroy some shit.
Yeah.
So, and I still have that in me, and that's still part of me. I mean, I'm a warrior. Just
Yes.
that's where I guess my soul needs me to be right now, and I love how you can say more or less the same thing I'm saying, just in completely different terms, because sometimes people need it in those different terms.
Yeah.
Like you was just saying point blank, and it's so true that your thoughts are gravity. But so many people also don't realize their thoughts is exactly what's keeping them in the fallen,
Yes.
is what's keeping them in that negative vibration, because they're not seeing it from that perspective scientifically. They're seeing it still from a three-dimensional level. And I'm like, there's so many times that your thoughts aren't even yours. And you have to learn to realize that everything's a choice. You are choosing whether you're going to be of light or whether you're going to get caught up in the mix of all of this crap and allow it to pull you down. This is why I always say my guides are always like, get out of the 3D. Just get out of it until I'm capable of being right in it.
Right.
Because what we're doing is this hive mind. We really need to understand the hive mind, and it's been going on for a long time. And Michelle and I hardly ever get to talk. In fact, we don't, right? So I'm going to take this opportunity because I've just been told by the Pleiadians and Angelics that she is a powerhouse in herself. Her purpose has been noticed.
Whatever you just did.
Yeah, she just completely got killed out.
Repeat everything that you literally just said, AJ.
The Pleiadians and the Angelics have want to, I can't say it the way I just said it, but she is a powerhouse unto herself. She is here for a purpose, to help people as a shaman. She is doing that magnificently, and they are so proud of this woman and what she's even gone through herself, and yet she has still risen, and she still is there every day. She's present in the fight. She is the warrior. I might be a warrior. I mean, I'm a warrior in the realms. Like, I come back with bruises and bullshit. But she is the true warrior. And it's not easy being in the goop. It really isn't easy being in the goop. And she manages it brilliantly. And they wanted you to know that.
Ladies, let me ask you a question.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my God. Did you just make her cry?
I'm sorry, it's the frequency of my voice as well, because I've got a Pleiadian frequency, so they wanted you to feel that message, not just hear it.
Oh, and I did, because in the last few days, I've had a spiritual, to be honest, and I don't even know if I mentioned it to Matt, because I've been talking to Matt a lot lately, and I've had a spiritual wound from my war fighting, more or less, that has reopened. And I'm having a very hard time getting it healed back, because I was harpooned before in the spiritual energy, and I know that I've been put through the ringer recently, and in a level to where it kind of like ripped back open, and I'm having to extra baby it while I'm still out there just knocking down and kicking things around, because I know I'm supposed to come out a whole lot harder. And I'm still developing that the shaman's coming. I mean, like, nobody's business is she coming. But I appreciate that, and I feel that because I know where it was coming from, and I thank you.
Ladies, I got a question come up in the chat.
It's from them, yeah.
A newcomer, I think, Miss Minnie Ruin says, can someone please explain how do you know what frequency that you're in? That's a hell of a good question.
It's a good question, and AJ's going to explain it better than what I'm going to, but I'm going to say this right off the bat. So many people think they are in a frequency that they are not. And I make, like when I do my mentoring sessions with people, I make them see that they have to really realize where their energy is. Because often people believe that they are of an energy, and that's because they're inspiring to be there, but they're still very much not in that energy. Like people will tell me often, well, I'm a very positive person. I do a lot of very positive things. I'm a good person in this level. And I'm like, that's not necessarily what you think. I'm like, are you walking around bitching and moaning about traffic, bitching and moaning about this, bitching and moaning about that? And they look at me and I'm like, exactly. You think you're one thing, but you're actually putting out something different. You have to be conscious to what you are thinking, acting, and doing. And that's when you really start doing the work of moving up.
Yes, that's so true. Humans have been trained to be in the lower frequency and have no power. What we are now understanding in this ascension process is that you do have the power and you always had the power. So frequency and energy, frequency and vibration is everything. It's what the universe runs on, right? And we are tapped into that universe because we too are frequency and energy, right? We're down to sheer water and atoms. So you can spark a manifestation quite easily. And a lot of, so you want to know where you are in the frequency. What you need to do, I can suggest that you be still for a minute. You get away from everything, and you put your hand on your heart and feel your heart, and you breathe right slow and right in, because the one way to check your frequency is your very own vibration and where you're at. Through the power of intuition. You were given the power of intuition. Your gut tells you where your frequency is. If it's in fear, you're going to attract it. If it's in helplessness, you're going to attract it. And it's no one's fault. We have been in fight and flight for so long.
Sure.
But what you have to do now, especially today with the portal, is receive those light codes coming in. They're here to help you awaken and charge you up. And it's just magical what's happening. And you know what? Believe in you.
Damn.
That's what you need to do.
Tear it up, girl. Da, 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 da.
But another thing,
yeah.
Another thing I want to add to what AJ says, because, like I said, she is of a higher vibration, and some people really connect to that, and because they can. And some people, like you were just saying, they're so caught up in fear, they're so caught up in pain, they're so caught up in despair, and they, even with their hand on their heart, even with their eyes closed, even with their believing, that they want so desperately to believe, but right there is the word. You're desperate to believe. That right there is your ego messing with you.
Oh, yeah.
And it is keeping you from actually acknowledging you have that source energy in you, and that is what's keeping you from the divine power of your own truth, because you're still allowing the despair to be more powerful than you. You have to erase that.
Yes. One of their weapons that they use on humans is limitation, right? You're infinite. If you work on yourself and your own limitations and your own, I call them soul wounds, and that's why I'm focused on veterans today, because my God, these people have soul wounds that we need to help them heal. But it is all about that. so all about that. And when you connect to you and to whatever you believe in the higher realms, you're going to expand. And 1111 is about expansion. It truly is. So thank you, Michelle, because also, you'd be a good one to talk to about this is soul fractals. With every decision you make, you're creating a soul fractal. You've got other dimension lives going on. Calling in your soul fractals, Michelle, can you talk to that?
Well, let me stop you for a second.
I do all the time.
Please, let me stop you both for a second, because I'm going to confuse the holy shit out of everybody at the moment. I'm not kidding. Because before we get into again, we've went over everything, a lot of everything condensed into one. So let me add my more confusion to this. After this specific show, after this program, all of you keep watching this page, because I'm going to confuse the holy shit out of you even more. Because I'm going to play for you. We're going to play the holographic universe. Okay? Are we in a holographic world? Are we in a simulated reality? If you think that...
Oh, definitely. The hive mind is simulation, yeah.
Bingo. So again, I'm not trying to confuse the shit out of you. I just want you to know how deep the rabbit hole goes, and how you, as, like I said, God's guns, guts, and you don't know jack shit. You truly don't. Because what you are thinking that you're fighting is your own self. It's already been done. Believe in that, and guess what? You're adding to it where your own biblical terminology says, if you believe it, you'll see it. It's not the other way around. Man, like I said, look, AJ said it, I've said it, we've all heard, and we feel it, believe it. If you believe it, you'll see it. So let me add to the confusion of what they know that you don't know. That is the holographic part of the reality.
The internal consciousness war within. Yeah. The internal consciousness war within. You must go through it. Yeah.
It's hard. It's very, very difficult. I think I said this last week. It's putting away... I'm not saying putting away all of your religious teachings or any of that shit, because I truly believe and feel, okay, that through Christ's light, through that Christos light, I learned all my life. I really truly did. I learned his teaching, and I'll argue toe to toe with the best of the best of the best of the best of the preachers, to the point where they're like, get out of here, because they're trying to teach me and the rest of the masses cover to cover, when that is only a minute dipping your toe in the water, AJ. They don't even the preacher pastors truly don't get the fundamental teaching of what he was trying to say. Christ was a metaphysical master. Metaphysical master.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot break it down any better than what I just said. He was a metaphysical badass. How's that?
Oh, God, yeah. That's why he was sent.
All right. I'm sorry, ladies. I didn't mean to...
But, it's okay, though, guys. You're going to feel this hard. It is a part of your process. You're going to feel it hard. You're going to have times when you're going to break. And you know what? You need to. Because you need to be reborn. You need to capture you again. And when you break, you get into matrix minds, because Matt's hand is there to pull you up. Michelle's hand is there to pull you up. My hand is there to pull you up, because it's okay.
It is okay.
And if you don't break, then you're not going to grow. Unfortunately, so many people are put on their path because they finally are so fed up with realizing that this is not what it has to be. This is wrong. I mean, I will say, I've said a million times, when I had gifts when I was younger, so to speak, and I lost them along the way. And I got robbed at gunpoint. And when I got robbed at gunpoint, even then I was a cocky little bitch. Excuse my language, but I was. I'm like, he's got a gun to my head telling me to open up the register. And I'm like, you see the camera right there, right? I ain't opening that register. I still have a job to do. I'm like, what idiot does that? No, this Leo over here. I'm the idiot that does that. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Open up the register yourself. You've got the gun, you know. But the days after is when everything came flying back. And I'm so public because of all of the emotional distress that I went through, and I know how hard it was for me, and nobody should have to go through that. No. I was bleeding internally for months because I didn't know who to talk to. I mean, you were going to break, and you know what? You're going to cry, and you're going to question, and you're going to scream. I've had many times I've walked out there, and when I do my astrology, one of the reasons why I get the astrology so well is because of the way my guides had me understand not to blame the astrology, but to understand the energies in the conversations. Because, I mean, I've gone outside. I've gone outside literally, okay, it started one time when I had a cat that was like my baby. I don't have any children, but this cat was like my baby. And it was the weekend. I was broke. I had no money. And I knew something was wrong. And I took the cat to, you know, get help. And they were like, oh, well, you know, he's had a stroke or something. And I'm like, so you're just telling me you can do nothing? And they were like, well, you don't have money. Now, I was freaked out, so I didn't think about having him put to sleep. But they literally sent me home with my cat to die in my arms. I was so mad that I'm outside, you know, yelling at God, creator, universe, moon, whoever would listen, when literally the moon spoke to me and was like, it was about time that you wake up. That's how my astrology started.
Yeah.
And understanding you have to surpass this energy in order to grow.
You do, but you can't shove it down in your gut. It's just going to eat you, right? So you would have worked through that because trauma creates ascension. And I'm sure that your energy, you know, when that was dealt to you, has also driven you to who you are today. And thank God you are who you are today, right? There's no justification to anything. Absolutely not. My father was a Freemason, and he trafficked me out as a child. So what did I do? Did I let that destroy my life? No, God, I didn't. I gave birth to two beautiful boys, and I lived the fullest of my life. It sent me on a trajectory. It helped me to understand the masks that people put on their faces because they're hurting. It helped me to get right into the heart and heal people. So, yeah, you know, you
have to get right with soul with that.
You do, and it's your strength and your power within that you found, Michelle. It was the strength and power within that you found to know this isn't going to happen. I'm going to make this right, and it gave you the fire and the fuel. And now you're the shaman that heals many that are stuck. So not just on this plane, but in the other dimensions as well. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you for being stubborn ass, and because that's what's needed, right? And people aren't used to it. People are so used to being, oh, let's not say anything that will cause a problem, you know. Oh, the family gets uncomfortable if I raise it. Well, fuck them. You know, they were your karma anyway. It's individual. This ascension, I can't stress enough, is individual. You are coming home. You are integrating with your higher self, and your higher self, all of you, I guarantee you, is badass. I guarantee you, they know.
Every one of you have a higher self that's a freaking badass. But you're not going to find it if you're afraid to start to figure out who that is. Start. I mean, like I've been saying lately, and speaking on exactly what he was talking about today. You know, the whole Saturn thing. You can use that to your perspectives too. If you like, from an astrological point of view, that's all about rules, laws, and boundaries. Nobody said you have to follow the rules that were set in front of you.
No. Doesn't work that way.
It's up to you to decide. It's up to you to decide what rules are right for you. Plain and simple. It's just you have to get courageous enough, pissed off enough, but in a bad place enough to start going, I said no. And yeah, people are going to get pissed off. But this is how you get right with you. And so, screw them. Like she said, fuck them. Sorry.
Yep. Yep. You'll get to the stage where you don't give a shit what people think. You are going to be you because it's your birthright. And you're teaching people. You've got to remember that everything you do, it's not just a one-way thing. It's what you give out too. You know, I purposely go out and blast places with energy like you wouldn't believe. And it was really funny today. I'm going to lighten the load, but I do want to talk about black cubes in a minute. But, you know, my normal Saturday morning ritual is go out and just blow the hell out and, you know, get the light going. And two things happened. I'm walking around and I'm looking at things with different eyes, right? And I'm going, yeah, Nephilim, yeah, I'm Arcturian, yeah, I see you. And they looked at me and I'm like, yeah, I see you, right?
Yeah.
And then I had a poor little checkout girl have a total meltdown because I put out my palm to receive money, and I got a hieroglyphic that came up on my hand, and she went, whoa, what's that? And I went, just give me the money, I'm going. It's so funny to see people that are really down and aren't awake yet. But I wanted to talk about the black tubes because that is you know, interesting how they're strategically placed all over this goddamn world for programming, right? So yeah, good little rods of God will fix that right up. But what I find interesting is there is a group called TLS, and if you've ever watched the movie The Adjustment Bureau, they're actually doing good work here on Earth. They know the meaning of time travel, and they go all over the world to stop things from happening. What I find interesting is that they use a box, right? They use a box. Who else uses those little black boxes for time travel? Oh, would it be Jerusalem? Would they have them strapped onto their arms when they're doing their prayers? It's interesting, this little black box, because there is always duality, right? Good and bad. I just thought I'd let you know that. Yeah.
I was asking Minnie in the chat here to ask a question. She's got a lot of questions coming about frequency and your guys' resident frequency and shit. And I'm like, please, just call the show. Yep. I would love for her to call the show and interact with you guys. I mean, I have no problem reading questions and shit in here. Shout out Richard Roller to you, Jay Pashuk, Angelic Catroar, everybody else up in here. Ireland, holy shit. Hey, Daryl, what's up, man? But yeah, there's a lot of questions about frequency, resident frequency, about like where we're at to versus everybody else, and that's the thing. It's like I don't even know how the hell to answer that because she's being specific. I mean, she's throwing down, man. She's like, well, she's got questions, and this is good. This is a good thing. I would love for her. I would love to talk to her. Please, Minnie, call me, please. Yeah. Love to talk to you.
We'll answer them if we can, for sure.
I will say something, because when you're getting on vibration and manifestation and you're looking at, you know, the divine, the positive, the light, and the dark, one very screwed up piece of it is, as personal as it is, it's absolutely not personal at all. It has to do with where your manifestation is, where your thinking is, where the hive mind is taking it. I mean, to your little individual life and what is going on with you on a little individual level, even though that's massive because it's for you directly, versus, you know, and like a swarm. That's literally the way they just gave it to me, like a swarm of bees over here and a swarm of bees over there, or a swarm over there. The attitudes and the energies are going to connect, and then the manifestation starts. It's already in progress. You have to alter the progress by altering your thinking, and realize that even when it's completely horrifyingly bad, it's not personal. It was created by all of us. So freaking uncreate it.
See that
My guys started me on just to get my head right for that. They were like, girl, you need to look at yourself as sulfur. They were like, what is sulfur? And they took me through a whole long thing. They were like, brimstone, what is it? If you want to look at it from the biblical sense, it's where God erases. To be the freaking eraser.
Ah,
They were like, and then be titanium, indestructible. They were like, if you need it, carry it. I have 2 bracelets that are made of sulfur, just so that, because as my guides joke with me, they were like, put your Wonder Woman bracelets on so you can be anything you need to.
wow.
And I'm like, okay, here's my yellow bracelet.
Ladies.
You can.
Ladies.
That's a secret of the occult.
But see that there you go. That is an ancient Chinese secret. No. Listen, ladies, let's take another phone call. All right, area code 612. Welcome to the Matrix Minds. What's up? Hello, who is this?
Hello, I've been listening to your guys' show. Well, Matt, your show since I went down the rabbit hole for 3 years.
Okay.
So
who is this? Who is it?
My question was to the ladies. This is Minnie.
Okay. Welcome. Well, good.
This is Minnie Rowan.
Love you. Thank you for calling. Good. Glad to have you here. Minnie. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I've been listening to you. I ran up on you for years, and I just love your show. And
bless your heart.
At 63 years old, I just happened to one day was going through Facebook, and you had a show on there that just fascinated me. And I was just like, wow, this guy is something. But I've been listening to you ever since. But anyway, let's get on. I wanted to talk to the ladies about the frequency thing.
Okay.
Because in my life, at 63, since I've been 18, I've been noticing weird stuff around the world, jobs that I had. I used to be, every place that I go, I would know when a company's going to close, which is strange. I knew when the high schools and grade school was going to close, and I would ask people, is anybody feeling anything besides me, or am I just weird? And people used to tell me, well, you're just weird. And I'm just like, I don't think so. And then just recently, before all this, crazy stuff that we got going on now in the world, I felt it 3 years prior saying, something's wrong. Nobody is noticing people walking around very strange, like they're from another planet. And people would laugh at me, and still people laugh at me now, telling me, you're seeing things that's not there. And I'm like, no, I just noticed that people don't speak the same. People don't act the same. People got evil. People, the friends that you were friends with kind of like backed off all of a sudden after this election in 2016. And then with the V going on, and you're trying to tell them the truth. And I told a lot of people, don't take the V. And I know a lot of people that died from it.
Oh, shit.
Scares me. I never did it. But I said, my spirit told me, do not do it. And I have my 2 children that are older, in their 40s. And I told them, do not do it. And they said, Mom, I'm with you, because I feel the changes in the world too. And I live in Minneapolis. I live in Minnesota. I am out of Minneapolis, but we're the George Floyd country. And it's like crazy here. And I moved way out in the suburbs now, but it's scary for me for where I used to live to even walk into that city now, which is very strange because you can either get robbed, you can get carjacked, or you just get looked at like you're a alien that just landed in a restaurant or something. I don't know how to put it, but
right.
when you feel it, when you feel it, and you feel the weirdness around you, you're kind of like, I want to go back home and lay on my couch and on my cocoon. And so, as far as when you were talking about frequencies, and you ladies were saying some stuff very interesting, and my question was, well, how do you know when you descended? Because I kind of feel like that happened to me a long time ago. But how do you really know? Because I actually seen shamans here. I talked to shamans. I've heard things that just kind of really freaked me out. But one shaman I talked to, he says, he said, you're a totally different person. And you are an old queen from Egypt that was taking her gold and oil, and you're here to get it back.
Oh, damn.
Well, that's kind of interesting, because I had 4 other shamans say that to me. Not all in one time. I had one that said something to me at age 20. I went back and seen somebody again at 30. And at 40, I had somebody write up a whole thing, and they all said the same thing, not knowing each other, and you're talking 10 years apart. And now I'm 63 years old. I'm not scared to say my age.
Damn.
And
look at me, everybody. We're talking to Cleopatra, man. Look at this. Oh my God. Yeah.
I kind of wish, but I'm sitting here thinking to myself, when you guys are talking about, your chakras, my daughter-in-law always talks about chakras, and she's the first one at 48 that brought me to a shaman. And he was also a natural healer. And so at that time, I was kind of like going, I'm not sure if I believe in this, but I'm going to go because I'm one of those people that I like to learn new things. And so I went into this room to meet this shaman. He was from the Philippines. And soon as I walked in his room, I broke down and bawled like a baby. I did not know why. And he said, my friend, lay down. I have a lot to tell you, and you need some healing. And I said, okay. And he laid me down on, the bed, and he did this healing process. And after he was done, I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but after he was done, he says, I want you to, next thing you do is you need to get out of here and you need to call the doctor. And you need to tell your kids that you have a tumor in your chest and it's very cancerous. You need to go to the doctor. I left, and I kind of was sitting there going, Again, I went home. My daughter-in-law said, what did he say? I said, it kind of freaked me out. I didn't want to believe it. And so I sat at home for a day, and he gave me a gallon of water. He says, after I cleansed you, you need to drink this water. Only this water, because I cleansed it. I was like, okay, if you don't drink this water, you're going to be sick. 2 days went by. I got very sick because I didn't drink any of the gallon of water. And I told my daughter-in-law, I called her and I said, I'm really sick. And she goes, well, are you drinking any of the water? And I was like, no, I don't believe that. She goes, well, drink the damn water, Mom. So I drank the water. I started feeling good. I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me I had a lump in my chest and I had cancer.
Oh boy.
And then that's when I was just like, wow. I woke up, and then I started seeing more and more things around me. I went to the doctor and got it taken care of. I'm fine now. But as far as the now at 63, I'm seeing things, feeling things, and I feel weird. I don't know what you would call it. I don't know if you ladies had that experience that something is trying to attack you because you're finding your true self or your true higher being.
That's the best time to be attacked. Hell yeah.
2 days ago, I was laying in bed, sleep. This was like 7 a.m, and I swear to God and whatever, I'm laying in the bed. Something came under my blanket and just rumbled underneath my blanket like there was something in the bed and just started pounding me in the head. I woke up and I was freaked out, and I looked around and I just started praying. I was like, whatever you are, whatever entity you are, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go. And that was 2 days ago. Hopefully it doesn't come back. But, and you were talking about putting your hand on your heart, and you can find what realm you're in. But how do you know for sure if you're in the third? I hope I'm not in the damn third dimension. I went through some bullshit in my life. I'm hoping I reached 4 or something, but are 5, because I felt like there's a lot of other things that's been going on that I crossed a lot of realms to get to where I'm at now. I feel peace, but I got to try to understand the peace. And when you said something, put your hand on your heart, breathe, and you can feel what frequency you're in, but how would you know?
Damn, that's a good question, Minnie.
Who wants to go to Shaman? I'll talk after Shaman. Michelle. That's a lot of it.
While you were talking, I think both of us are working on her as we speak, actually. Yeah, because I'm like inside. I've been inside of her since you started talking. Are you feeling any energy taking place in your chest right now, or your solar plexus? Because I believe both of us are fishing around. Yeah, that's both of us in there working on you. You're having, what I'm not picking up what you said the other shaman said, but I'm not also really working on you on that level right now. I do know that you brought yourself back here also to set something right. Something that you are holding responsibility for in the past, of where you're feeling, what I'm feeling is a heartache, where you're feeling like you didn't do the right thing, or you didn't live up to your potential. You don't feel proud of yourself in that area, and it's a heartache that you are accidentally I'm pretty sure that's what me and AJ have been just triggered right into, because I went in through your belly. And both of us, I feel like we're trying to help you get your heart and your sacral chakra somewhat of right. Now, the problem is you can be higher than three-dimensional and three-dimensional. I mean, you don't stay in just one dimension. Your higher aspects can be higher than that. But you still come back to the three-dimensional world. You tap on, the table next to you. You cannot just remain higher realmed than that. And when we come back to the three-dimensional, unfortunately, we also end up tapping back into the lower vibrations. And where you're having a healing that you haven't healed, it's part of what's attracting your lower vibration. So you have both in you. It's you're going back and forth in the energy.
And it's
You are
funny
very
that-
highly sensitive. You're very highly
Yeah,
sensitive.
but
You
it's-
definitely pick up on the energy. You need to learn how to protect yourself better, as well as not, as I like to call it, gobble up the energy. Because you gobble it up, and then
that is one thing that I'm working on. But one thing that you said, and I can't figure that out. Two of the shamans said something happened to you in your childhood, and they keep asking me that. And I'm like, I don't know. I remember all the way back from when I was a kindergartner. And two of them said something happened to you as a baby or before you went to your first grade in school. And I was just like, well, the only people I could ask is what happened to me as a baby would be my mom and dad. They're not here anymore. But I can't figure it out. And that's the one thing that's been bothering me. I'm like, am I who I'm not supposed to be? Was I a molested child and nobody's telling me?
Wow.
And so that's the one thing that I had two shamans tell me. You have to get a hold of what happened to you when you were a child. And I'm like, I don't know what happened to me. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, not unless I must have blocked it out, but
you blocked it because you're not
know.
prepared. You're not ready. You want to be ready, but you're not ready. Because they just keep giving me inflexible. There's a fear there of what you're going to find out. And because of that fear, you're still holding on to the anxiety of it. And they keep telling me that, unfortunately, this is not your fault, but whatever it is, you blame yourself for it. And that you hold it like it's a trophy of badness, like a scarring. And the problem is, you have to realize, like I was saying earlier, in a screwed up way, all the positives and the negatives make no difference. They make difference to us and our stupid human ideas of what everything is, and our human idea of what we connect with, what our feelings are, what all of this is. We are higher than this. We are source. We are energy. We can be good. We can be bad. We choose accidentally to harp on things that harm us, and without knowledge. Right now, there is a piece of you that's still allowing that ick, because there's a piece of you you're not ready to address and see within yourself. And this is exactly why the shaman looked at you that way, because the shaman is seeing the situation. But see, we also take oaths as shamans that we cannot, like what AJ was saying earlier, I cannot bring back a fractal piece of you if it is not ready to heal. Because if I place it back in you, then it's just going to run. It has to be at a place when you're willing and ready to bring it. So even if I grab a hold of it, it's
ready.
Secret.
I've been willing and ready for 10 years. Before my mom, my mom never treated me very well when I was a child. She never liked me.
Oh.
We never got along. She never addressed any of my birthdays, nothing. She never addressed it. My children, and they were born as grandchildren. So I know something has to do with her from when I was a child. And I've asked her. It's now been 40 years, and at 60, I said, I have to let this go, because you're not going to tell me. And since you have really not been there as a parent for me, and I even told her, I don't know why you hate me.
Wow.
I mean, we lived a block away from each other. She has never came to my house.
Yeah, she knows.
Nothing.
She knows.
And I that's one thing I keep saying to myself. I'm 60. I got to learn. I got to live. I don't want to take it to my grave not knowing, because I want to know.
Okay, sweetie, I'm gonna shift the direction for a second. And what I'm about to say is probably gonna sound hurtful, but I want you to really think about what I'm saying. Because what happened to you is not your fault, but you are still looking outside of you for the answer. You're wanting her to give you an answer. She ain't never gonna. And neither is any of the other lives. The only place you're going to get the answer is in yourself, or from a shaman like myself or AJ, who's able to work on those fractals. But the point is, and here's the hard part, just how much do you love yourself?
Oh, I love
Because
myself a lot.
I mean, completely.
I just actually came into no, completely. I am so content with my life, and after I retired, everything, I feel at peace. I have my rose garden. I have my veggie garden. I have a beautiful 1/2 acre yard, nice house, and great husband, and I'm at peace. I've been at peace for years, but that's the one peace that don't give me peace.
I love hearing her say
and
that.
I want to know, because my kids want to know why their grandmother does not like them because of something mom. And I don't know. But I do love myself. People always tell me you're so vain, but I did come in peace with myself years ago, because I had to talk to her mother before she died, and she was the one who said, talk to your mother. You need to get it out of your mother, because your mother knows. And so I've been going through this bullshit for 40 years, and I finally had to tell my mom, okay, I give up. You just go live over to the left, and I'll stay over to the right. But I still want to know.
Keep getting a head track.
And that does bother me. Because when you got 7 siblings, and she talks to all the siblings, but she doesn't call the 6th one, that's where I have a problem. And I can't find out, why do I have a problem? That she doesn't like me, and I keep trying to say, well, I know I'm likable, but I can't figure out why you're not likable to your parent. And there's one thing of a parent doing something to the child, but then when the parent has kids and you do something to the grandkids, and you treat the grandkids the same way you treated the daughter, I'm just baffled. So I've been trying to go through what you guys were talking about tonight, and I've been going through it for at least a good 7 years. And I did come to peace 3 years ago, but that's the only peace. That doesn't make sense, but I got a piece of the peace.
No.
That's because you're making peace with yourself in the situation. You're making peace within yourself within the situation, because you're not going to get it from her. And what is going on with her is a complete different subject. I mean, that's a complete different subject in general, and that's completely on her and that situation. You were wanting something you're not going to get from somebody. You're not going to get it. End of discussion. And this is why you have to make peace with yourself. So you're still holding yourself responsible for the energies of what created the whole thing in the first place.
So
because all I keep getting is like a headdress.
Whoa. Let AJ come try to
I was gonna say, AJ, come on.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of things in that conversation, and thank you so much for coming onto the show, because you know, what we do here now with us as a group is going to help many, okay, that don't have a voice, okay. And you brought up a lot of things. You brought up, and I'll get to the family for the last bit because that's the ball breaker. But right now, you told us about your early life, so you're very strong. You're totally tapped into your intuition because you had something happen to you that left an imprint, and it was traumatic, and it taught you the gift of intuition, right? You've also got dimensional awareness because I'll just run through them and then we can have a chat. But I just wanted to help you with this at the moment with everything that because there was a lot that you said. So you're aware of other dimensions and other people and other spirits and everything else, right? So you are very, very much aware in dimensions. Dimensions are not linear. It's not what the New Age movement has said where you go up one step, another step, another step. You'll be forever ascending until you go light body, right? But
Alexa, you're coming and going. Stop. You're coming and going. What your phone?
Sorry.
Sorry for something. You're coming and going for some reason. There you are. There you are.
I'll try. Yeah, it's the frequency. So yes, then you spoke of a past life as an ascended queen. So it would be interesting to know your star seed mapping, because a lot of star seeds have come back to not just make wrong right, but to hold the frequency for Gaia and for the humanity, but also to correct karma. And it may not even be your debt; it could be ancestral debt, right? So I believe that you are what they call a first waver. The first waver was around your age group, and they came into the planet with the energy. They have found it the most difficult because they are of light, and they were thrown into 3D. But they were the pioneers. They were the volunteers, right? And you said that you had children. So your children are saying, yeah, we know, Mum. Well, I don't know the age of them, but I'm probably guessing that they could be indigo, where they've come in with the knowing already. So they're easy to, they accept things, they know so much, right? And then we go into the fact that you've got a very open mind. So you're expansive. So you're accelerating very much in your ascension right now, because of your willingness to be open-minded and expansive. And you don't rule out anything. You hear it all, and then you go with your intuition to make that decision going forward. And I love the fact that you've got peace in your heart. And the reason why I draw your attention to your heart is because, yes, this is the healing. That is your portal. That is your heart center. But yes, absolutely right. We were both working on the lower chakras because there's a lot stored there, right? You can easily absorb energy. So if you didn't see the show that I did with Matt a couple of weekends ago, the Galactic show, I strongly want you to. It sounds like you're religious in a way, so that's good. You need to.
No, I'm not religious
right now. Okay. So
I'm not religious. I used to be, and kind of what Matt was just saying earlier. You know, I was Catholic, and when I was going to get married, you know, I had a Catholic priest that said he wouldn't marry me because my husband was a different race. And he says, if you have children, are you going to raise them white, black, or Iranian? And I was just like, they would be children. And they would be raised the way I am because I'm biracial. And at that point, me and the priest got into an argument, and I left the church.
Right.
And I
Good
said,
for you.
Hate.
Good for you, sweetheart.
And I never went back. And when you're asking a person what color is a child going to be,
Oh,
I mean, that to me just was baffled.
what a dumbass.
That was the flag,
just-
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So as
that
far
was
as the
that was
religion,
the flag. Yeah. That was certainly
I
the
just-
flag, and it has been for many people, right? When we all know about the Vatican now. So I'm really glad that you saw that and you had the courage, right? Because your dad and your family depended on it. You had the courage to walk away. You saw it for what it was. You saw the false light, and you saw it for what it was, and you walked away from that. So congratulations, but because your children needed that from you. So thank you. But I do want to stress to you, you said that you felt a presence around you a few days ago, and you actually cast it out, right? So this is what you have to do. If your intuition says there's something not right here, right, and it's dimensional, and it could be Archon AI, I would like you to listen to Matt's show a few weeks ago, but it is the sensing, right, because the dimensions are they're converging right now. So, and the Archons are still using the black mass energy on people that have got tears in their aura. So it really, really would be good if you spent some time in your rose garden. It is so powerful. If you can sit in your garden and just think about, just be in that rose garden, you're going to receive enlightenment. And the other thing is for me, just remember that you are multidimensional. So you're not just here, you're in other dimensions, right? Something has happened here that you've come back to rectify. And you know, I would highly recommend, you have been led to 3 shamans. Now that is a message if it isn't one.
Yeah.
And if you go to a shaman and go through a healing or a shamanic journey, which I would highly recommend, that would be good for you. But it's not the only option. You can do a regression technique where you can work through this. But I absolutely agree with Michelle. I think that there's a level within you that has learnt to be protective from any more hurt. And you will have to be ready for that. And you are the only one that knows when you are ready. And it's not just ready in your mind. So we can be overthinkers. We can be too logical. What we're experiencing now, and logic has got nothing to do with it. We're talking about you know, the universe and galactic multidimensional energy that is coming in all the time. So I would do that. So now we come to the family bit. So I mentioned my experience with my family, and you know, if people aren't alive that were old enough to be able to tell you if anything happened, it's not going to help you. But what I will say is, you can get that. You can go through the regression or shamanic healing. But at the end of the day, I didn't find out about my family's dirty little secrets until my parents passed on. Right? They're kept hidden for a reason. And with your mum, she has gone through her own pain and anguish that you don't even know about. My mother could not look at me in the face because, and when I realised what had happened, when people finally started talking to me about my family after they died, I went, oh my God, all the dots joined together. They all joined together, right? So what I'm saying to you is, if you want to pursue this, your soul will pursue it, right? And I'm reading your energy right now, and I'm feeling that you are ready. You are ready, but there's also a part of you that is protective, okay? We can't give you the solution. You have to go within and work out in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your soul, what is right for you, and then take action on that. That's it. And one of the actions could be the art of acceptance. Accepting is a hard one.
It is,
Yep.
but I accepted a lot of stuff because, when sometimes you wonder, a friend will do something and you go, why did you do that? I'm the type of person that I just come straight forward to you. You did that and that's messed up. Can you explain to me why you did it? Because then I can understand maybe I said something that made you react that way. And if somebody gives me an answer, I accept people's, whatever they're going to say. And then it's up to me to say, okay, well, I think that was effed up. I'm just going to kind of move this way for a little bit until you can see you need to take responsibility too. I take a lot of I do a lot of things that's stupid. And I mean, my friends will call me under the carpet. Maybe that was stupid. And I have to think about it and was it? And I think about it 2 days later and I'll call the person up. That was dumb. I'm sorry. Let's move on, And
you're an amazing woman. You are an amazing woman. You are authentic. You are honest. You are truthful. My God, I'd love to have you as a friend.
You got her as a friend, Ding Dang. You got her as a friend, AJ. You've got her. She's part of the trip.
Amazing. No, but understand what I'm saying is because for all of these people that are, and you're there for a reason, right? And for all of these people that we've lost our way. We've lost our way. We are so divisive, so argumentative. We're hurt. We're damaged. We're this. We're that. And we project it, right? And it's not always you that are projecting it out. You can be the receiver of that energy. And you're calling it. And that's what I love because, I've done that my whole life. So I'm straight jack, truthful. Everyone knows where they stand with me straight up.
yeah.
And that's good for you. Yeah.
Because if somebody asks me something, well, what do you think? And I'm like, do you want me to lie to you or do you want me to tell you the truth? Because I'm usually tell the truth. And if you want to hear the truth, you're going to be mad at me. People tell me the truth.
Minnie's going to stand about, you can't handle the truth. Yeah.
My husband says sometimes, he says to me, babe, you asked me. You shouldn't ask me. You know how I am. And
I'm
it's
the
not
same
to
way.
be, I don't do it to be mean. If you ask me something, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm messed up sometimes? People ask me. Yeah, you need to take care of this side of this problem. And maybe you will see it, what other friends are telling you. But if you're not going to see it, I'm the only one who's going to tell you the truth because out of the friends, I'm the only one that they always call me, they always tell me, go see the oracle because she...
Oh, damn.
Just will say any. I said, no, I don't say anything. I just say what you guys are secretly running around asking each other about, but won't talk to each other. So then they'll come to me, and then I'm the bad guy because somebody out of the 8 wants to know something, and then what's getting told, and they look at me. But I had the same girlfriend since grade school. So all of us 8 been together for 40-something years, and we get along. Some of us come up with some crazy stuff, and then we have to just check them, put them back in their place, and go, let's move on. Because life is too short to be mad at somebody for something stupid. That's what I look at.
Yeah.
You're mad at somebody because somebody didn't bring the right beer, or somebody said something to your friend at the bar that you didn't like and stuff like that. So I'm not that type of person. I'm just straightforward. Well, maybe so-and-so said something to you and maybe that person needed to hear it. Move on. But, I even told a friend of mine that he had a friend that comes around all the time, and I just finally had to say, you're an asshole. That's why people don't like you. And my husband says, well, you didn't need to say that. And I said, you say it. Everybody says it behind his back, but nobody tells him why he's an asshole. And we sat down one night on my deck, and he asked me, so everybody's saying I'm an asshole. I said, I'm not going to point the fingers who said it. But let me tell you from my point of view what you do, and maybe you can kind of correct it. And he said, this has been going on since college, and nobody said anything. And I said, yeah, that's kind of what you do, kind of think about it. And he says, well, thanks for telling me. Since then he corrected his problem. And I said, the reason why you probably act the way you do, because he was I said, because it's your personality. You are a lieutenant on the police force.
Oh, shit.
So you're used to being an asshole, because you got to be the asshole to the people on the street to listen to you.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you took that knowledge and turned into an asshole to your friends and family. But everybody was scared of you because of your power.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But I'm not.
Minnie,
You're an assassole.
Minnie, Miss Minnie, I gotta share something with you, because the moment you said something about military, am I right? Did I catch that right?
Police.
Yeah,
police.
No, he was a police sergeant.
Okay, I'm here. Is there part of your family, any part of your family at all, that is military?
No, he's on my. I have 3 nephews that's in the military.
What about your family? What about your
Navy,
aunt?
one's water. My immediate family, no. Nobody is. It's the nieces and nephews that went into the military.
All right, good. Because the moment you said that, and honestly, the moment you said that, I started my mind went to MK Ultra type shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you there, but that's just where my mind went, to question you on that. That's all. Okay.
He was.
One of the questions could be
California and retired. Yep.
I couldn't hear.
Yeah,
you guys are clashing.
The police force are, unfortunately, are broken and remolded into enforcement. So they forget. They because they see so much. They often get hardened by it, and it does impregnate into their normal lives. That's well known. I don't necessarily want the answer now, but I just want you to think about something in your quiet time with yourself. Who was around you when you were born and a young baby? Who was around you at that time? That's something for you to think about going forward. Michelle?
I would assume it would just be who was around me, you mean? As an infant or a baby?
As an infant and a baby, who was in your circle?
It would just be my mother, because she was a stay-at-home mom, and my father was always at work. And
other people, though?
My mom's. No, I had my little brother. He was a year behind me, so we used to play together, and we went to kindergarten, and we've always been close. And but other than that, I was home all the time till I went to kindergarten.
Uncles?
Uncles, no. My dad never allowed anybody in the house, because he was a paranoid man as far as older adults being around children when he wasn't home.
But there was a reason for that.
Yeah. I did find out my mother's sister was, back in the 40s, they didn't accept gays and lesbians. And I didn't know she was until she died, and I was like 20-something years old when that came out. And I was just like, oh, is that why Dad didn't want Auntie around, because of that? And my mom says, my dad, your father, was terrified of the homosexuality, period, men or women. And I was just like, oh, okay. Never, after that, never thought anything about it. But as far as anybody else, I can't think of no neighborhood people. It was always my mom and my little brother until she would take them to kindergarten, and I would be at home watching Felix the cat. My sisters and brothers came home from school.
Ladies, how are we going to wrap this little conversation up? Because we're like 2 hours and 12 minutes. I'm like 15 minutes beyond trying to cut this.
I can get off.
Well, is there Minnie? Are you friends with AJ? Are you friends with AJ on Facebook or anywhere? AJ, are you guys connected?
No, but I think I'll try to find her and.
What about Shaman?
And, hit her in the message. Yeah.
I'm not. I'm sorry, I just came back.
No, I was curious if Minnie is friends with Shaman also as well as AJ.
No, I don't think I'm on either one of their pages.
Okay. Minnie, we'll make that happen. We're going to make this happen. Somehow, let's do some digging. We'll do some digging and some working on you. Cool? All right?
Shaman 3 times, Matt.
What? One more time?
Huh?
Shaman 3 times. She's been approached by shamans how many times? I think she would benefit from.
No, I went to 3.
Yeah.
3?
At different times of my life, 20s, 30s, 40s.
Right.
And my 50s.
Wow.
And I haven't seen anybody in the 60s because the guy that I seen, he moved back to the Philippines.
Oh.
So,
Whoa.
And he was pretty.
I will admit, a part of the healing that you're not receiving yet, when I said that you're not ready, is a part of the vibration of the actual inside of the body. The vibration of the body, not just your mind, is not ready for the energy that it will incorporate. At the moment, it's going to be like adding, in a form, it's like adding new memories, adding new DNA. And the mind and the body's vibration are not on the same level.
No.
And one reason why you're not getting what you're wanting, you feel that you are at peace. But there's still a little bit of a tug of war going on here with the vibration, and that's because you may feel it, but like I said, the body itself, its vibration is not matching right now 100%, not the way you would like for it to. And without that, it can't be prepared to pull in that extra energy yet. Like what me and AJ were originally going to also talk about was fractals. And if I try, or if AJ or anybody tries to bring back a fractal, there's a difference between me going in, finding out the story, coming back and telling you it, versus actually putting it back in you so you get that energy back. There's a big difference here. And getting that energy back right now would not benefit, because the energy that's returning would not be able to withstand the energy that you're in. It would make things worse.
Yes. There's an
this is why, even though you want it, yes, even though you want it, your body is like rejecting that answer right now because that vibration is not a match. I speak about this all the time when I'm speaking about the blueprint of the body and so forth, and how when we're getting right with our inner blueprint, our inner programming, and we're starting to understand that, then our actual body itself is starting to vibrate at a different level. I say all the time, one of the reasons why we're not those light people, like the light people that we think of when we're thinking of, star seeds and stuff, is because we literally, physically, are not at a capability level of maturing to that yet. Our vibration is still too low, and our brain and our thinking and our emotions and the actual vibration, all of them, there's more than one vibration going on there. It's wheels within wheels within wheels, and they're not completely balanced yet for you to receive what you're wanting to receive. So there's more inner working going on. That's what AJ was trying to explain. And part of this has to do with you getting to another level of peace than you were yet at. And that's hard to understand because you can't understand what you don't understand until you understand what you don't understand, which is just redundant, but that's the truth.
Yeah, and I understand what you said. I understand. I wish you lived in Minnesota.
I know. She just said, I know, you know, I know. Ain't that right? Let me say it again. I think I know, I know, you know.
Yep.
That's what you just said, isn't it? Right? All right, girlies, you got to wrap. We got to wrap this up. Minnie, right. you're gonna say something really positive before you leave, right? Because you had a great time. We all did. So do it up, girlfriend. Say something positive for everybody tonight. On your way out of here.
Everybody stay in the love of peace, energy, find your light, and find hope for this world, because that's what I'm trying to do. Peace out to you, Matt, with this good station that you have that I found you 2 years ago, and been listening to you, flip chats and listening to all the other ones that called in, Andy, and I forgot the guy's name from Australia.
Richard Roller.
I love listening to you guys. And all I can say is peace, love, and life.
Minnie, love you.
And
Thank
hopefully
you.
we all start getting there. Yep. You got a good show, and love you too. And
Good night, love.
I'll be listening again.
All right, sweetheart. I'm gonna give you.
Good night, you guys.
Yeah, you too. Good night to you, Miss Minnie. I'm gonna blow you out of here with this bomb. All right, because you did absolutely. You kicked ass tonight.
All
so
right.
Thank
I love
you.
that bomb.
All right, get the hell out of here, Minnie. We'll catch you another time. Love you.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. Wow.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, man. Nice. One more for the road. Get out. All right, Shaman, AJ, you guys, I don't know who's going to grab the talking stick first, but we got to go.
I'll go first. Everybody, just remember, it only has power if you give it power, so pay very close attention to what you breathe power into.
Ouch. Damn. Did you mean to rip that Band-Aid off that quick? Oh, man. She did, didn't she? She really just, get the hell out of here, Shaman. She went there. She's like, look, you don't like it. Don't speak that shit. Good night. Love you, sweetheart. Thank you, Michelle. Good night. Oh, my God. Wow, AJ. Boom, truth bomb. Boom.
Yeah, it is. We covered so much tonight. It was amazing. And these conversations need to continue, especially now at this important time in our existence. So I am also going to say, keep your intention where you want it to be. Stay in the love space. Do not fall for the playbook anymore. It worked, but it doesn't work anymore, right? Illusion. You have the power. They know it. They're screwed, right? Just keep in your heart space. See it for what it is: lies, deceit, and false light. You are the light, and I love you all.
Oh, man. Damn. Less brutal than Shaman. Thank you, AJ. I'm serious. Thank you for being part of the show. And I know that we covered a lot of turf, and it does need to continue. The momentum of the manifestation process, what you speak, what you think, comes to fruition. It does. It really, 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 really does.
It does. Because it's all about frequency and energy. And if you're matching that frequency, don't be fooled. If you're matching a lower frequency, you will resonate with that frequency. You'll become it. So don't match the frequency. Defy it. Command it. You are more powerful than what you can ever know.
Man.
And I'm going to say good night, and I love you all.
We love you too.
Love you all.
Take care of yourself. AJ, get the hell out of here, sister. Love you. Thank you. Whoa, goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, man. Man, yeah. You know what? You guys absolutely, I love talking to you guys about these different topics. The topics that we talk about and we cover here, very controversial, very conspiratorial. And you know what? The thing is it doesn't really matter. These guys know, and this is going to those that manifest the dark side of things. Like AJ said on her way out the door. Okay, we've got this. I've been saying this for quite some time now. I'm waiting for the quote unquote air quotes patriotic community to kind of like get in the same groove. It's because again, it's divided. I know that it is so divided. Some of you know it, some of you understand it. And get a little of this. I gotta laugh at this on the way out of here. We'll wrap this up at 2.5 hours. Listen, even the ABCs, okay? Even the ABCs are shitting themselves. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with you. They don't know what to do with themselves at this point. They're tattling on one another. They're scrambling to figure shit out. They're like, oh my God. Okay. Problem is, it's like, listen to me. They use something again. I'm gonna share something with you that I think and believe in. Okay. And that is you and them, we are all from the same soul source. Okay. We are all from the same soup, same cosmic soup. This is the kicker. And I know a lot of you, some of you truly aren't going to agree with this, but look, okay. And it's hard, really, really hard to grasp onto this. The human mind cannot grasp the word infinite. It can understand the word finite. Finite has a beginning and an end. Okay. The word infinite, you cannot clearly click in your head what the hell the word infinite truly is. So whenever you see a spark, let's put it this way, if I had a lighter, okay, and I flick a spark, that spark, I didn't create that spark. Okay, all I did is bring that spark into manifestation. That's what we was talking about tonight, is manifestation. Words, thoughts, feelings, all of these things are used against all of us. Again, the do as we say, not as we do. Okay, I cannot help but say this and show you this. Juju, tarot, juju. This is called divination. Okay, I can very, very easily take this crystal off of my neck, turn it into a pendulum, and have it divine for me. I can have it. I can use it as divination. Okay, do as you're told to do. Don't do what they do. They do it. Trust me, they do it. At a massacre, slaughter level, they do it. Okay? They know their time is up. All right, things are ramping up. You can literally see the matrix coming unwound right in front of your eyes. You can see it happening on a daily. Okay? Those that are in bad spots, they're bailing ship. They have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You guys have seen me say this and showed this before. Okay? They can run, but guess what? Everywhere There's going to be a camera right there recording their faces. There's going to be a day that they can't walk on the streets. I'm telling you the truth. I have it. I'm telling you my belief. I'm telling you my truth. I'm telling you my reality. Please understand. I didn't even hate the word understand. I don't like that. It's understand. Please understand with me that this facade, this illusion is already broke. Okay? We're just waiting for those to step outside of the box, that conformity, and realize all they've got to do is sit with us, okay? And realize who they truly are. Because whenever they step into that power of knowing, oh man, brains. When they step into that power of knowing, my friends, I'm telling you right now, they will be a force to be reckoned with. They can talk all the shit talk they want about putting hot lead in politicians' heads. And all that's going to do is get some knock on your door. It doesn't have to come down to that. It truly doesn't. That is so old school. This is Sparta! Man, look, let me tell you what. While you're screaming, this is Sparta, you've got them on the other side in a circle, surrounded with salt, doing Kabbalistic rituals, controlling, conforming, manipulating, manifesting energy that this is Sparta don't even fucking get. They don't even understand. Please realize who you are, realize what you are, where you come from, okay? And come together in unity. Come together as one powerful ass energy. Do some research on this. I'm telling you, please do some research on this. The day the Twin Towers came down, there was a massive ass shift in energy. The entire planet felt that loss. They felt that humble ability. They felt that energy leaving transition. To me, what I seen was one big ass ritual. Okay? And they did it right in front of your face. They did it right in front of our faces. Illusion. God only knows. I don't know. But nevertheless, it was a big ass riff. Shift in energy. Now, mind you, for a late night show, I'm telling you, it's not going to be live. It will be live, actually. I'm going to play Welcome to the Matrix. Remember I told you in the earlier part of the show I was going to confuse the hell out of you even more? Let's do that. So here at about, let's see, it's going on 12:30 Eastern Standard Time now. Make it about 1:30. About 1:30. Give me about an hour. We'll queue up what's called the holographic universe. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Chat will be rolling. I'll let the chat roll. You guys can talk all about it. Be more confused about it. Talk about it. Question it. We are somewhere in a facade. I call it the Phantom Matrix. I know it as the Phantom Matrix. We're waking up, Brainiacs. The powers that be are scrambling like fucking cockroaches. They have no idea what to do. So with that being said, everybody, if you tune in later tonight, promise you'll check it out about in 1 hour to this show, 1 hour to this broadcast right here. We will be playing live the holographic universe. Don't miss it. Let's kick it with some friends. Sit back, have a cup of coffee, have a beer, popcorn, whatever you want to do. Just we'll talk, we'll chat. I have a community talk about what we're listening to. Okay, Brainiacs, and those of you that do not wish to tune in, I wish you nothing but love. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you the same time. I love you. That is, I love you. Same time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock West Coast time. Brainiacs, be good. Don't forget, question everything, my friends, even the fabric of your reality. I love you guys. Good night to you, and God bless you.
We're in a matrix.
Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Radio show where welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows on the internet. The Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. Sure.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage. Every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again. And now back. Yeah, Brainiacs. Whenever I tell you, you see that on your screen, right? You hear that? It's absolutely unbelievable, uncontainable power. Torque, power, strength. You got power in you that you probably didn't even know you had, Brainiacs. Find it. Dive deep within yourself. Talking masculine energy, feminine energy, the power of soul source, man. You guys are manifestors, creators. find it within your soul. Dive deep in your soul. Learn who you are. Be the best you can possibly be every day in every way, my friends. You ain't alone if you're just tuning in. You're just tuning into this reality. You have no idea what the hell's going on. Again, welcome to the Matrix Minds community, my friends. It is not just a chat. We are a world. We're in a world. Feminine energy, masculine energy. Wow! Yeah, baby. Scare the living shit out of these people if we can. You guys got it. Make it happen, brains. I love you. Good night.